In today's video, we're going to talk about a common behavior among guys, which is being overly nice and ending up being deceived by girls. Maybe you're wondering, am I acting like a sucker? That's exactly what we're going to discuss today, along with giving some tips on how to avoid falling into this trap. Don't waste any more time acting naively. Learn to identify these signs and protect yourself to build healthy and happy relationships. Let's get started. A clear sign that you're making a sucker of yourself is when you expect attention from someone who truly doesn't care about you. Take this to heart in your life. If you're investing your time trying to win someone back, or believing that person will come back to you, or even begging for attention from someone who doesn't care about you, who mistreats you and makes you feel foolish, stop and reflect. Am I being foolish? It's hard to admit, it's true, but sometimes we're so emotionally involved that we're blind to reality. Watching the video might help you stop suffering for someone who doesn't value you and see things more clearly. I understand we have hopes and desires, but we need to accept that we're all imperfect and things won't always go as planned. And when someone makes it clear they're not interested in you, pursuing them or waiting for attention is pointless. It doesn't make sense to chase after someone who doesn't show genuine interest in you. The right person will make an effort for you and give you the attention you deserve, not scraps of attention. Settling for less than that is selling yourself short, and that's not right. So, this is the first sign that you're making a fool of yourself. The second sign is when you create exaggerated expectations about people you've just met. Imagine you've met an amazing woman and you've started talking. Then you start idealizing things like, if she gives me attention and talks to me, we're already planning the first date, the first kiss. I even thought about marriage and children. Hold on. She's not yours yet. Take it slow and don't create premature expectations. Sometimes the person is just getting to know you step by step, evaluating if there's really a connection. And you're already treating her like a princess, the love of your life, asking her to marry you. Understand that this isn't appropriate, or else you'll be putting yourself in a foolish position. This makes the woman not value you and not make an effort to build something together. So everyone ends up frustrated, and in the comments, it's all about how the woman doesn't make an effort and doesn't do anything. But in reality, it's you who's trying too hard to have someone by your side and creating unrealistic expectations. Unfortunately, no one can help you because the message has already been conveyed. The third sign that you're playing the sucker is when you have difficulty expressing no. This is crucial. And there's a video here on the channel that addresses exactly the topic of learning to say no. I've seen many comments from you mentioning this difficulty in saying no, recognizing it as a flaw, and trying to improve in this aspect. Watch the video on this topic to avoid falling into the trap of being led astray, because this is important both in personal life, especially in relationships, and in professional life, where it can have negative repercussions. It's essential to establish boundaries, and others should respect those boundaries. When we can't say no, we allow others to cross our boundaries. This leads to frustration, sadness, and the feeling that nothing is going well as not having time to attend to our own needs, ending up doing favors for others or for our partner. This applies to all areas of life, so if you have difficulty saying no, it can hinder your personal development. Just as women are learning to express no and not fear being left, if someone leaves, it's because it wasn't meant to be. If you're afraid of being abandoned and agree with everything she wants, saying yes to everything, you're letting yourself be led. First and foremost, women don't like being put on the back burner. Where is your self-esteem, for heaven's sake? Here's some advice for you. Learn to value your time and energy. Often we get carried away by others' demands and commit to many things, even when we know we can't handle them. Learning to set clear boundaries and prioritize our own needs helps us protect our mental and emotional health. Remember that saying no when necessary is not only an act of self-care, but also an act of respect for yourself and others. So, don't be afraid to set boundaries and prioritize yourself in your relationships and in your life in general. The fourth sign that you're playing the sucker is when you let your heart guide you. But wait a moment, should I really follow my heart? Unfortunately, friends, our feelings, emotions, and heart cannot in any way be our instruction manual. Why? Because, unfortunately, when you do, you become a hostage to your own emotions. Have you ever heard the phrase that sometimes it's necessary to act with more reason than emotion? Well, because when we let our feelings dominate us, we become victims of them. So, should we follow our mind, right? Because the heart can be deceitful, it can lead us to think that we're making the right decision when in fact we're making a mistake. Unfortunately, we end up being carried away. Moreover, friends, allow your brain, your reason, to process all the information before making a decision. Have you ever heard the expression, "I messed up for 5 minutes of foolishness"? Well, sometimes it takes time to process what's happening. Often we act impulsively, letting our emotions take control, and then we regret it, thinking, "Oh, I should have thought a bit more." So when you find yourself in a moment where you feel like you're acting purely on emotion, pause for a moment. Let your mind analyze all the information before deciding. Otherwise, you may end up harming yourself, and it will be harder to backtrack later. Finally, the ultimate advice for you to stop being a sucker once and for all. Use your intellectual instinct to make rational decisions based on what you truly desire, not just on what you feel. When we blindly follow our feelings, we are more likely to make mistakes, and that's where we end up making suckers of ourselves. Here's some advice to stop this. Fix what needs fixing, and change what needs changing so that things start working in your life. I hope these reflections have been helpful for you so you can reconsider your attitudes in relationships and avoid falling into the trap of being a sucker. Always remember to value yourself and follow your reason before letting emotions take over. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and share it with those who may also benefit from this advice. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, don't waste time and subscribe to not miss out on upcoming content. Until next time, and remember, you deserve healthy and happy relationships where there's no room for someone to make a sucker out of you. See you soon.